I'm a special one.
Decide I was right.
Hello and welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is your host Omar speaking, and today's video is going to be a reaction to my UEFA Champions League predictions last week, along with my reaction to the results in the Europa League, as I didn't make a prediction video for that one. Let's kick things off with Real Madrid's 3-1 win against Chelsea at the Bridge. Now, this one hurt particularly because, Jesus Christ. Okay. Everything I feared would happen actually took place. Tactically, we were the much better side. Madrid's weaknesses were obvious, and everyone thought that we would exploit them accordingly. But Benzema happened. Benzema has been happening all season. That man is finally getting the recognition that he deserves. He's finally being looked at as the striker and as the player that he is. He's one of the most complete players that I have ever seen take the pitch. His longevity and his consistency are both worth commending and noting. And his hat-trick against us, I honestly expected two. I expected that if we would lose and if we would win, Benzema would score twice, and he scored 3. That man is a machine. And he's always been one. He's always been one of the best strikers, if not the best in his generation. And I've always looked at him as the best number 9 of his generation. Mind you, the identity of the number 9 has changed. The identity and the roles of players on the pitch has changed. And whenever anyone mentions a specific number that denotes a certain identity, you always get this box in your head that where the player falls under. But this isn't the case. The evolution of football in modern terms has changed that. And I may call Benzema a number 9 based on the definition that number has had on certain players in the past, but just watch him play. Watch his highlights. And if you follow Madrid, you are an extremely lucky individual because you've had to watch that man up front for close to a decade, if not longer. He's been at the club for over a decade. And that is commendable in and of itself. Now, I think that we could have done better. I think Chelsea could have done a lot better, but all of our weaknesses and the weaknesses, along with the pressure, the stress, the tension that has been taking place throughout the last couple of weeks, ever since the whole, the farce, the scandal in regards to Abramovich, the sale of the club, it all came out, it all happened, and the club capitulated in a way on the pitch. And I guess anything is still certain. Both teams are still clear in regards to the weaknesses they have. Both teams could have their weaknesses exploited. I can't really predict the second leg or how it'll go, but all I know in regards to Champions League football in particular is that anything can happen. Now on to Man City Atletico. I actually predicted Atletico would win this one. I thought that Simeone would be too difficult for Pep to bear. And he was difficult to a frustrating extent because he basically played a 5-5-0. He had no one up front. They registered no shots. They did nothing up front. They didn't commit players. They didn't commit enough players on the ball up front. They didn't do enough to even attack. They just couldn't deal with Guardiola. Or they could, and Simeone just took a conservative approach to a point that was so frustrating that anyone would have been relieved to see Pep's team score. I mean, if you saw that picture of Guardiola tossing the water bottle at the end of the game, I think that can sum it up. It was just horrible to watch, man. That game was genuinely horrible to watch. The last time I saw a team line up that way, it was Sam Allardyce's West Brom against Liverpool, I think last year. I'm kind of fuzzy in regards to the time, but it's that kind of thing. And this is the weirdest comparison. This is not a comparison. This is just, a memory that has been ingrained in my head because they usually call that caveman football or 12th century football because that shouldn't have even been played. Now, in regards to the second leg, I still think Atleti could have a chance if they actually play. Now on to Benfica and Liverpool. I did say that Benfica could spring up and pull a surprise, but it didn't happen. Liverpool were much better. They were the better side at the end of the night. A 3-1 victory is quite comprehensive considering the chances that they had, and they took their chances well enough. I can easily say that they will cruise on to the next round unless a miracle happens in the second leg. Villarreal Bayern, though. I predicted a surprise and it happened. Bayern, I did say that Bayern were not the team that they were last season. And I did also say that Emery's Villarreal could cause them issues. They managed to score and keep a clean sheet against the Bavarians. Now that's some interesting Champions League football. This is proof, further proof, because we've seen it happen enough. But this is genuinely interesting. It's exciting. It leaves a lot to the imagination because we still have a second leg to be played. Almost anything could happen, as I've mentioned previously in this video, but I would like to see Villarreal go through. Honestly, because you always want to have that if factor, you know? You always want to see a team that hasn't progressed make it that far in the competition. It's fresh, it's new, it provides a refreshing outlook to the football hierarchy in Europe, in the Champions League in particular. And I do believe that if they do make it through, they could cause an upset here or there as well. Nothing is for certain. And the thing about the Champions League is that we haven't seen many teams cut from this cloth do some damage in the competition recently. And this would be a welcome thing. On to the Europa League. So, yesterday we saw 3 1-0 draws and a 1-0 win. I didn't want or expect Braga to beat Rangers. That was just not on the cards for me. It made me quite sad to see. I expected Rangers to walk away with a clean win. They did not. They still have another leg to go. Let's see how this actually pans out. And in regards to Atalanta and RB Leipzig, I still can't believe that that game is taking place in the Europa League. I mean, these are both sides that have been regulars in the Champions League throughout the last couple of seasons, but they do elevate the Europa League competition this season in general. I think many of the sides present here do so as well. Lyon and West Ham is a game that I never thought I'd see played in Europe. I thought that this is kind of a friendly. You know, this is a game I'd expect to be played as a preseason friendly, but that was good to see. Lyon are a side that have been, disruptors historically in the Champions League. I'm not sure if they won the Europa League. I quite fancy them in general, but I expected them to beat West Ham. Moyes' West Ham are still consistently one of the most difficult teams to actually beat, and that says a lot about the work he's put in and the credibility that he has regained as a manager. Now, Frankfurt and Barcelona was an odd one. It's always difficult to play away from home in European competition. Let's just get that out of the way. But I did expect Barcelona to come away with the win. Frankfurt did not make it easy for them. And I expect an equally difficult second leg, unless Barcelona can actually take advantage of the fact that they will be playing at home and do some real damage very quickly. Now, in regards to a Europa League final, and I've never really addressed this, I would love to see Barca and Lyon face off, if that is even on the cards. I'm not necessarily sure who's going to face who, but that's just something I would like to see. If it takes place in the semi-final, I'd still find myself fancying that encounter. And that is all I will say for now. I can't wait to see how all of these encounters in Europe will pan out next week. I would obviously like certain sides to go through, but I would also like there to be, continuous surprises, more entertainment, more drama. And with the away goals rule obviously not in play anymore, I still kind of feel like that drama has been taken off the table. It could still be entertaining, it could still be dramatic, but I guess we will actually be able to judge that at the end of the current season, at a point in time where the rule has been put off the table for a while, and we've seen enough games to be able to digest the differences. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Just wanted to let you all know, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You will find the links to all of our social media accounts in the description below, the link to our Facebook page for our Arabic content, and the link to our Arabic YouTube channel as well. And I will see you next time the whistle blows. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.